Do 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 bum 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 bubbly do. Do 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 do. Okay. Streamlabs was okay. Spaz Devs here and Garrett, Joseph, Ocean, Fredbear, Willie, Fluffy. I was just about to say I wanted to make sure you guys actually got in here because Streamlabs was having a little bit of a stroke in getting this stream started. So I want to make sure. And it looks like, did we actually have some notifications go out? How does that happen? Holy crap. This is the ascension in the halls of madness, says. Oh, yeah, work, Wolverine? Okay, gotcha, pal. Windows 95. What does that bring back memories? Not pleasant ones, but memories. Let's see. Windows 95 would have been the first operating system I worked on. I got a computer with. Hey, Dorgan. You did get a notification, Fredbear. Hey, yeah, Jack Quinn got one too. Okay, cool. Haynes says, I don't seem like an emotional guy. I think I'm as emotional as anybody else. I don't display it always in the same ways as others. A lot of my, when it comes to sadness, a lot of it's internalized, but I think as much as anybody else. Hey, Downward. Watch what happens when the multiverse gets merged. We don't need any more problems right now with the multiverse getting merged or anything. Of course, we're not doing all that well, I guess, unmerged, so. Yeah. Jack says, tickle my balls and call me Lola. You had me at tickle my balls. Cthulhu says, who put spiders on my dick? I hate when that happens. I guess I shouldn't. At this point, I should be happy with any type of attention my dick can get. Okay, Spider Boy says, the first anime scene to make me cry was Kushina saying goodbye to just born baby Naruto. That's tough. And she takes all of Minato's time giving motherly advice. That was brutal. Yeah, I'm with you, Spider Boy, on that. Yeah, and that moment of realization for her, for Kushina, when she says, "Oh, I took up all the time," and Minato's like, "No, it's cool, it's cool." Yeah, you're 100% right. That was a great moment for me. Still, as far as individual moments, it's still that God. I'll never be able to shake the whole Meruem and Komugi thing. Seriously, I mean, it's something that the words still haunt me. Whenever I hear, because obviously it's said all the time in Japanese, whenever I hear a character say, "Hi, hi," like that, it immediately goes back to Komugi. And just one simple little thing when she's talking to Meruem and he's dying, and he just calls out to her again. He says Komugi, and she says, "Hi, hi," and for some reason that punches me in the chest every goddamn time. Jack Queen says, One Piece is my favorite anime, and I've never cried during an anime, but I was closest with Naruto. Naruto had the moments. Well, it's the one we were just discussing right there. I mean, Naruto's parents on the nail of, or the claw of the fox. Oof. The SJW arc makes me sad, Arthur says. A lot of us, yeah. I shed a tear while watching One Piece. K4 says, when the Mary start talking while burning, yeah, that was rough too. See, yeah, we do see a lot of these. Well, I guess it's understandable, but yeah, that was a big moment for me too. Well, I said it at the time. The Gooshers know who watched along with me there. I was in the moment. Even I was stunned by how effective and how emotionally debilitating it was watching a boat go off to the great beyond or the next level, or in this case to the bottom of the sea. That was, I mean, the amount of emotion they were able to create for an inanimate object was just amazing. Although I guess you could say the Mary was animate. No one says FMA, blah, blah, FMAB and Naruto are the only things that have given me, oh, dude, this suck feels. Then there's Berserk that just leaves you pissed off. Berserk leaves you pissed off, confused, frightened, a lot of things, Nolan, yeah. Yeah, that's true, Johnny. Senor Pink was sad. He was. Who would have ever thought that, too? You know, leading up to what we were to learn about him, just what we saw early on with the goofy look and the binky and and the demeaning way he acted towards his groupies, you know, the the hard-boiled groupies, or the groupies for hard-boiledness, I guess you would say it. Ali says, hi, Curtis. I don't know if you're going to see this. I see this, but I really want to thank you for being the amazing human that you are. You always make me smile and make my day. Well, thank you, Ali. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate that. Have I started reading Boruto manga? No. That's all. I have not. I have zero time in my day for reading. I've got several manga on the shelf there I'd like to read. I have the manga for Hunter x Hunter that picks up where the series left off on my hard drive, and I haven't had time to read it. If I were to get time to read manga, I couldn't even begin to come up with a number of how far down the list of Boruto manga would be. Link says, sup, fuckers, I'm here to cause fuckery. Freddie says, Made in Abyss makes you cry. Too much for a character that only gets to see 10 minutes of her backstory. Cool. Delaware says, I was rewatching FMAB recently. Ed and Al's teacher Izumi telling them it's okay to hurt got me again. Oh, yeah. FMAB was shocking to me how many really hardcore kick to the feels moment there were. It's right up there with One Piece for hitting you in the feels over and over. And I mean, obviously things like Clannad, but Clannad being slice of life, I guess it's just more, what's the word I want? You expect it. It's less unexpected to have your feels pummeled by Clannad than it was to have that happen with FMAB and One Piece. Arthur says One Piece and Gintama have scenes that make me cry every time. A bunch of people told me that about Gintama too, Arthur, that there are scenes in there that really get them. Mary, Bone Clay. Oh, man, hadn't talked about him in a while. What a great character. Ace, Whitebeard, Robin's backstory, etc., etc. Gintama has countless too. Yeah, the whole thing with Robin, and I'm with you, Arthur, really got to me was Luffy yelling to her, making her say that she wanted to live. That's a great one. That's a great moment. Who says, no, One Piece's backstories made me cry or feel much really, but that fucking boat, I swear. It's amazing how hard that gets to you. I mean, that was really, really rough. And I've told you guys before, you know what line within all that, for whatever reason, hits me hard too, is where Luffy's just, throwing every emotion he has out there and just crying out to the Marion, where he says, and Zoro and Sanji are stupid and they kept breaking things on you. It's just it's so perfectly them that I think that's why it hit me emotionally as hard as it did. Philip says, I don't think I've ever really cried at anime. Felt incredibly down or sad due to one. That kind of sad where you get mad at yourself for not being able to cry. I've experienced that, Philip. I can understand that. Yeah. I can completely understand that. Shoot, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. So, yeah, it'll come back to me. We're not watching videos today. Jesus, is it wrong to say no to Jesus Christ? But we're not. This isn't a video stream. I keep them separate because those can't go live to the channel afterwards, and these kind of people want to come back and watch the conversations in here. For the people that know Digimon and saw the new Digimon movie, it had me crying, and I don't cry easily. See, I don't know much about Digimon, Tyler. Just a little bits, clips, the little clips here and there that you guys showed me in the old reaction video streams. Ace says, thank you for loving me. Stabs like a spear, Arthur says. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I get as moved, I won't say more so, but for me, and I'm curious how many of you guys would agree with this, I get as beat up emotionally from things that are, from moments that show true friendship and camaraderie and the standing up for one another, as I do from the overtly, obviously emotional things, such as the things that happen in Clannad. I mean, well, I don't know if you could say one is any worse than the other, but Tomoya and everything he went through, and especially with little Lucio, and that was a killer. But I tell you, I get affected as much by Nico Robin screaming, I want to live. And what that meant in the greater scheme of the story, and how Luffy brought that out of her and everything. That stuff really, that gets to me just as much. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. This Vanless Vegeta hugging Trunks. Yeah. Yep. That's similar to exactly what I'm describing there, too. Itachi, I will love you always, gets me looking like, hold on, scroll down, like Gohan with how my hair stands up. Nolan says, yep. Oh, I knew you guys were going to bring up a lot of good ones. Wow. Shay says, Clannad was great, huh? It really was. I was an emotional wreck after the first season, and after story took me a week to emotionally recover. Yeah, there are moments from that are just going to stay with me. Absolutely. See, the only thing that got me was at the end. Now, we posted episode 22 today to the GOOSH. There's 3 episodes left. Now, the last one, obviously, you could, that was just an addition and kind of a semi-explanation. But it was confusing to me that they didn't really end the story at 22. They left you kind of hanging in episodes 23 and 24 as to what the hell was going on. Then at episode 24, then it gets over and they write Finn at the end after Tomoya had been with Kyo. So it was real. Don't get me wrong, it was good. It was really good, but it was really scrambling a little bit. One Piece, Brook and Laboon, Cthulhu. I just can't wait to see more of Laboon. Because obviously there's got to be, since they picked up Brook and everything, they've made the commitment to get back to Laboon. And with what Luffy said to Laboon as well. So that's in the offing. I can't wait for that. Sinister Charlie says Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood made me cry a lot. We were talking about that one. Charlie agreed. That one shocked me. Again, the story structure of Clannad, it doesn't strike me that I got beat up emotionally. FMAB surprised me. Arthur says Clannad triggered my mortality crisis when I was 12. Yeah, it could absolutely do that. Oh, good one, Spider Boy. Trunks going Super Saiyan over Gohan's dead body still gives me chills. Yeah, good one. Yeah, again, those moments of standing up for one another really, really get to me hard. Yeah, always have, always will. I mean, I really get moved by that stuff. The whole Ace dying after he was saved was a bit rough, Jack Queen says. I nearly stopped eating for that one. That was a rough one, though, Jack. I owe you guys here at the chat, the mods, so much that I didn't get spoiled on Ace, just like I owe so much that I didn't get spoiled on Toby is a good boy and all that. You guys are amazing. After I get a huge reveal like that, I always look back at it and go, how the fuck did they prevent me from ever hearing about that? Download says, I feel like once an anime lets you know how much something means to someone, they rip it away so you can experience loss along with the character. Agreed. I agree. And they're really good at making sure you feel the full brunt of it as well. Kaiser says, Gao Gai Gar finals ending was really sad, but also heroic and heartwarming. The cast sacrificed themselves to send the two kids among them back to our universe from a dying parallel universe. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that kind of sacrifice is a good word for it. Big sacrifices on behalf of others really always get to me too. That's similar to what I'm talking about, standing up for one another. Philip says pretty much the whole of Rainbow Nisha will get to me. Makes you really happy when the characters finally get a win because it happens so rarely. Also, Judo and Pippin's deaths in Berserk. Berserk is just, oh man, there's just no words to adequately describe Berserk and the overall experience of watching it. It's one of those things that if somebody hasn't seen it, to me, you can't. It's just like, just go watch it. You're not going to understand. I'm not going to be able to explain it. Just go watch it. Oh, agree with this one too, Ed. Ed and Edgar says Hohenheim's visiting his wife's grave in his final moments. That got to me hard. Telling her he was grateful for his life, that he met her and had their sons. That gets me. Yeah, that's a really good one. Yep, that was exceptional. How hard that hit, and especially with Hohenheim. When he's first referenced in the story, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to hate this fucking guy. Took off on his family and everything. And it's like, yeah, I'm dumb. Angel Beats' ending was another for me. I can't even imagine, Shay. I'm loving Angel Beats. For those of you who don't know, over at the Goosh, that's a sponsor series. So we watch an episode a month. And our pal Frog has sponsored that. And it's intriguing as hell to me. And I can see, after this last episode, I can really see where we're really building into some sadness, because now you've got Angel working. His name's on my head. The main character. You got him and Angel working together, but they're going to have to do it under the guise of Angel going back evil again, which is going to start telling the story of everyone else and how they got there. So I can see that. Oof. I can see that getting really rough. Dominic says, I don't know if anybody else has seen the second season of Magi, but the scene where director Magnoshot confronted Titus and told him he could live, breaking his link with the Scheherazade, gave me chills. Yeah, that one, obviously I'm not familiar with that one. I agree with that too, Dallord. Real genuine gratitude seems to get to me. It's just so rare in real life. Yeah, I agree with that. Oink says, I don't really have any examples of this, but I usually don't cry the first time I see something, but then the same scene that didn't do much the first time I saw it hits me hard the second time. Oh, I've experienced that, pal. I've experienced that. Similar to the other side of the spectrum with emotion, sometimes something may be funny to me the first time, then the second time it's funnier, third time funnier still. And I've had the same thing happen the other side, where the first time I see something, it's emotional. Oh, I can give you an example. My most emotional scene for me, as far as debilitating me, was Meruem and Komugi. It was very sad the first time I saw it. Now, if I go back and watch it again today, that would be about the 50th time. It's even more so than it was the first time. So yes, I completely get that. Masters React says, hey man, I suffer from some overthinking anxiety. Always am dreading the next day, but you make it bearable. Thank you, man. You make us feel like fam. Well, thank you, Masters Reacts. It's really coincidental you bring that up. One of the next videos I plan on doing, where I just like to talk to you guys, is going to be specifically about anxiety. And again, don't get me wrong, when I make these videos, I think you guys understand that I don't profess to know everything or even most things. I just try and share the things that I've experienced to see if they can help anybody else. And I can tend to be an overthinker as well, Master X, or used to. I think I've overcome that somewhat, and I know the obvious solution would be, yeah, Curtis, we don't want to get beaten with metal folding chairs, so we stopped overthinking. But it was actually for causes other than just the damaged brain cells. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. But the one on anxiety is coming up. Simping Stan says, I like that, Simping Stan. Attack on Titan, when Armin sacrificed himself and Levi had to decide to save either Armin or Commander Erwin. Good one. That was emotionally conflicting and emotionally brutal. Yep. Yeah, excellent one, Simping Stan. I would not have, yeah, I wouldn't have thought to bring that one up. That was. There were a lot of rough spots in AOT. Um, yes, I have seen A Silent Voice. Sinister Charlie. I actually got my wife to watch that one with me. That was, yeah, that was a rough one too. I really enjoyed that. I'd like to watch that movie again. Zabuza's final moments. Tony Kushi Matthew says Zabuza's final moments lying next to Haku was the first anime scene to make me bawl my eyes out. Understandable. That that too over the death of a villain who didn't have much of a redemption arc. Yeah, I ended up really, when all was said and done in Naruto, I really ended up liking Zabuza a lot. And that's another thing that came to me over time, because in the moment it was like, I was, well, obviously he was a villain, so I was rooting for him to get beat anyway. But when I looked back on the entirety of his story, and then even more so when he was brought back, remember when he's brought back, the first thing he wants to know is, hey, how's the kid from the bridge? I mean, in Naruto, there was a lot of real decency to Zabuza. And even the first time around, the fact that he took out that little troll, I always forget his name, not surprisingly, who want to remember it, that little fat troll piece of shit, when he takes him out, it's like, okay, this guy's definitely not all bad. He was willing to do that job for us. Somebody had to kill that piece of shit. Downward says, Obito's rant about his counterfeit world didn't make me cry, but it hit me pretty hard. The voice acting in the dub was masterful. Very cool. Yeah, yeah. There were, Talk No Jutsu in general gets made fun of a lot, but there were a lot of great speeches throughout the entirety of Naruto. Gato. Yes, thank you guys. Yeah, SD Gato, the piece of shit. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I hated him. So Zabuza made some serious points with me right away when he took out that fucking weasel. Yes, exactly, Lude. He's up there with. I tell you, we were talking about it in the comments over at the GOOSH, and you know who's really surprisingly I really despise. I mean, over the top too, is that fucking mine in Rising of the Shield Hero. I hate that bitch. I'm really enjoying the ride in that anime though. That it's a really good show, but god damn, I hate her. I want something really bad to happen to her. Fat ass piece of shit. That's what he was, Masters. Oh, I couldn't stand that little weasel. Igor says, funny for me because gato in Portuguese means cat, but it also means hot when referring to someone else. Oh, does it? Oh yeah. I'm sure they weren't when when they named gato. Then they certainly weren't using the Portuguese take on it, because it's definitely not hot. Yes, agreed. Simping Stan. Assassination Classroom. Koro Sensei's death. I agree. That was sad, but also I thought, for Koro Sensei's, I put it up there with Pervy Sage's death. Very triumphant as well, which softens the blow a little bit, but it's still really sad. Excuse me. Not wrong, Aziria. Madara can be tear-jerker when you consider how much shit he's gone through. Yeah, and the fact that he was just a phenomenal villain. I think he's one of the all-time great villains I've seen in anime. He's right up there with Dofi, and I'm just finishing the Dressrosa arc. Piccolo finally redeeming his sins and sacrificing his life for his nemesis child. Good one, Moneymore. Excellent one. That's pretty good. Igor says, so in the Brazilian dub, they referred to him as Gatu and sounded like two at the end because Gato, he was fucking not. Understandable. I would, yeah, the best move would definitely be to dub that out. Bleach was great, Cordico. Bleach was fantastic. Yeah, there's some truth to that, Big Green. He says the fact that Madara was thrown away for a shitty final villain is pretty sad. I don't even really hate her. but I just think Madara, as do a lot of you guys, I know you feel the same way. I just think Madara was a better villain and probably would have been even stronger to finish it with him as the final boss. Kaguya was like, okay, I think Kaguya would have been more fitting and more hard hitting. Rhymed. If they hadn't done such a masterful job of building Madara up as this ultimate evil. Jack says, Vegeta saying, even for you, Kakarot. I remember that. When he sacrificed himself was sad. Also made me horny. Super horny. Jeez. SD Production says, yeah, Madara was a great villain. Yeah, he's definitely on my all-time favorite villains list. The only villain I have... well, I shouldn't say that. I'd have to think through them. You guys had helped me remember. But the only villain I can think of that is my favorite... That's a definite villain and is my favorite character in a series would probably be Toga. I just love her. She's so... If you're going to be that level batshit crazy and stabby, and just everything about her character and the way... Well, and you guys know how I feel about female characters of that nature. I mean, look right here. That's number one waifu right on the wall. And there's just something about Toga. I just love her. Gimster says, from what I remember, one of the biggest tearjerkers for Mr. Goddammit Curtis was the fact that his boy Arlong is always misunderstood, and his hero Shao Tucker was done dirty. Sad day for Curtis. Yeah, my boy Arlong. Just people don't understand what he was going through. Oh God, I hate that fucker. That just, I'll never forget that, Gimster. Watching that, when that fucking piece of shit shot down Bellamere, and they did a masterful job of illustrating it as well. But took her out in front of her girls like that, nope, never gonna get past it. Your Lie in April, that was good. I enjoyed that, Sinister Charlie. It's one of the only things my wife's. It's hard for me to get her into anime at all, but she did watch Your Lie in April with me. And I bought us each Your Lie in April t-shirts. I don't know if I've worn that one on camera because I save it. If my wife and I go out somewhere, sometimes I can convince her to wear. They're not the same t-shirt. It's just two different t-shirts from Your Lie in April. I'm going to see. We're going to Disney in May. I'm going to see if I can get her she won't. To take a day off wearing Disney stuff, but she won't down there. Yeah, Your Lie in April was brilliant. Fantastic. And Violet Evergarden, episodes 10 and 7. Whew, baby. And that's why episode 7 hits me so hard, because when Violet tries to leap over that little pond in one jump for the writer there, it's that whole thing of somebody trying to do something for someone else on someone else's behalf. That gets me good. Downlord says, I remember as a child I wanted to watch One Piece, but all I had was a 4Kids dub. That's an anime moment that made me cry. Absolutely. Oh, that's a tragic anime moment. You are 100% right. Those are legit tears without question. Fucking 4Kids. Nolan says, most of the unremarkable battles with characters we're supposed to care about from the Fourth Great Ninja War made me sad. Sad we wasted so much time focusing on not Madara. He is a great villain. I mean, no more to be said than that. He's just got every element of what makes a great villain. Sinister Charlie says Violet is a good one. Yeah, I love Violet Evergarden. Oh my gosh. That show was so good. Igor says you want an Eki series similar to DxD with a harem and revenge porn with lots of violence? Redo of Healer. I want to see if even Curtis can watch that. Seriously, it's a fucked up series. I like DxD. I like DxD not just for the fan service. I'm one of those people that just really like DxD's story and love the characters. That's the strength of it for me. Is I think the characters are fucking hilarious. They're great. Yeah, Lou says, yeah, I can't believe they wasted time on other characters in Madara Shippuden. I agree, SD. Naruto is great at building characters. Yep, I agree. Kaiser says, Nanoha's anime movie remake managed to turn Fate's mother, who was abusive, into a tragic figure by playing up the fact she lost her previous daughter and showed more regret over her actions. Dryer says, Nolan says, the saddest anime moments of 2021, DxD season 5 still isn't out. Yeah, DxD is good. Issei, he frustrates me because he doesn't manage that harem as hands-on as he should, but he's a great harem master. He's a great protagonist. I like him. And Kaneko. I've said the early seasons of Issei and Kaneko crack me right up. God damn, they're funny. Gimster says, in seriousness, another one of the biggest tearjerkers would be when Naruto talking with Mama for the first and only time. Agreed. Naruto is fantastic at manipulating your emotions of every type. I mean, even so much as the comedy relief moments in there are spot on. The part where they want to get to your feels are spot on. The moments where you want to feel triumphant are spot on. Similar to the storytelling in One Piece for me. Dylan says, me, who's watched hundreds of hours of hentai in my lifetime, I'm something of an anime fan myself. I agree, Nolan. Issei is the embodiment of stand up for others. Yeah, 100%. And probably one of the reasons why I like him and like the series so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, the titties are phenomenal. They're fabulous. But there's a lot of series with great titties. DxD is just a really fun, really good series. That's a valid point. Igor says, say what you want about Issei not getting laid, but the dude earned his harem, unlike other harem main characters. That's true. Yeah. He earns them through the pits of battle, no doubt about it. Philip says, honestly, the first episode of Goblin Slayer is pretty sad when you think about what happened to the monk girl. Her spirit was absolutely crushed. Sets you up perfectly to see Goblin Slaughter. True. Yeah, I agree. It's talking about Goblin Slayer, but I've been trying to think now. See, with my wife, when I try and convince her to watch an anime with me, I have to be very careful about the storytelling. I know what she likes and I know what she'll immediately reject because we have different tastes. And it also has to be one that's good in the dub because she will not do subtitles. And there are some series that I just can't watch in dub. Like I couldn't watch Hunter x Hunter with her because I can't do it in dub. But I'm thinking of maybe trying Demon Slayer. I think she would like that story. Once she gets past the fact, that first episode and all the violence and gore in it, that the whole series isn't just about violence and gore. It's a really cool story of the people involved. I'm thinking about trying to get her to watch that. Toradora was great. Total Weirdness. Toradora was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. How would I rate Assassination Classroom, Curtis? Scott says it was great. It was fantastic. I love that story. What a unique storyline and how well executed and how awesomely bittersweet it was at the end as well. Cowboy Bebop was Cowboy Bebop. Radical Ed, one of my all-time favorite characters. Oh, Demon Slayer. That's why you were bringing up Miss Spaz in the context of Goblin Slayer. No, just the Slayer word got me thinking about it, Big Green. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking of trying to see if I can get her to watch it. Oh, it's Spaz Kid. He says, it's snowing hard here. Sick of Utica. That's where his college is. It's cold here today. Yeah, Buffalo got like about 5 inches last night, I believe. Let's see. Zero says you should watch Code Geass. I have. It's the greatest ending of all time. Yeah, Code Geass was great. I enjoyed Code Geass a lot. Yeah, yeah. The ending, that talk about an ending that completely surprises you as well. Lelouch. Kaiser says Sailor Moon had several sad scenes where the cast have died more than once. The final battle of S1 in the last season came to mind. Season 1, the last season can come to mind, especially the last season. It gets really dark. I would think at some point you would think Sailor Moon will get, just because of its legacy, will get voted in at the GOOSH. Igor says, unlike DxD, the redo of Healer main character actually gets laid in almost every episode, but holy shit, the violence and overall content is so fucked up. The series got a lot of controversy. Revenge rape. Yikes. See, the thing is, well, you guys know how I feel about things. I've never understood controversy over works of fiction. If you don't like it, don't watch it. They're not supposed to be instructional. They're works of fiction. And the fact remains, even no matter how violent they may get, the world is a violent place. It's only reflective of what goes on. And when people want to restrict those things to even be consumed, it's just like burying your head in the sand. Well, I know most all of us agree on that anyway. Shay says, A Town Where You Live is a bit slow paced, but there's definitely some real big sad moments. That one I'm not familiar with. I haven't heard of that one. Kaguya, Igor says, Kaguya might have been a poor replacement for Madara, but we got quite a few Rule 34 out of it. Some amazing. So, worth it? True. And Jacqueline says, surely controversy is good. Means they're doing something new that makes you reconsider things. Yeah, well, we see that more and more in society now with people. If something is not to their particular taste, then instead of just ignoring it and saying, ooh, that's not something I'm going to partake in, they feel the need to make sure that nobody else can see it either. It's just, we got a sad bunch of dipshits in society now. We were talking about that one the other day. I haven't seen it, of course, Moody, but we were talking about that dog scene from Elfin Lied the other day, and learning about how Lucy grew up made me tear up. Yeah, that gets mentioned all the time in the sad moments. You guys got me really curious about it. Gimster says, it's snowing hard here, in quotes. Tell him to tell me how much snow there is. I'll be the judge. The amount of snow. We got 14 feet of it 2 winters ago. I remember when you were talking about that, Gimster. No, they're just getting up there right now. See, where he is, on these cold days, you're just close enough to the Great Lakes, to some of the Great Lakes, Erie and Superior, that you get some effect off them. You get some wake effect snow, so that's what they're getting. And we're another 50 miles away from the lake, so what they get up there is not necessarily what we get here. Today it's just cold, drizzly, and fucking miserable. You too, Philip? Philip says, fucking snowing here too. It's fucking April 21st. It's so bizarre. And last week, my wife and I were just out working out in the yard. Spent several days out there getting we got a whole little area I'm sprucing up for her to make her own little pool corner type thing. And we were out there having a blast, doing all that work and sweating. And yeah, now this. He's not in Buffalo, Sinister. He's not quite that far west. They didn't where he is didn't get hit hard as hard as Buffalo did. Buffalo got blasted. They're obviously right on the Great Lakes. So Kaiser says, oh man, speaking of a controversial anime, Cross Ange comes to mind. Is that supposed to be Ange or Angie? Comes to mind. Hilda's backstory about being separated from her mother as a kid was hard to watch. I don't think I've heard of that one. Dalward says the weather here in Northern California has been pretty beautiful, actually. Has it? Actually, when I lived in California, it was central north. Vacaville, right between Sacramento and San Francisco. Good point. Moody says, man, I forgot about Yu Yu. That had a great but sad as hell first episode. That was a great series. I think, wasn't that like really the first of the true classic old school anime I'd watched? That was fun. I enjoyed that one a lot. That was a really good series. And you can see where they set the groundwork for so many storytelling elements that would come in later anime as well. Everything about that was cool. Igor says in episode 11 of Redo of Healer, a villain gets raped by 3 ogres, and when she can't satisfy them, they eat her. Of course, they softcore the scene, but still, goddamn loved it. Jeez. Redo of Healer. That's funny because it's the first I've heard of that one. I don't think we've talked about that one before. Yeah, Philip, you're a meshy. Kodako, when you used to wrestle, what was your finisher and the name of it? I used different ones over the years. Mostly I used the punchline, which was martial arts style heart punch, and the bellyache, which was a reverse pile driver. Reverse pile driver. Reverse power slam. Where instead of slamming, power slam traditionally, I'd put them up their back onto my shoulder and then slam them on their face. Let's see. SD Production says, been watching your channel for years. Thanks for all the last good moments. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Nolan says, I choose to ignore the context behind Buffalo got blasted with 5 inches last night for my own immature giggles. No, that you don't. Listen, you're not sure. That could have been the context I meant it in. Fucking Buffalo is a horror. Yeah, reverse pile driver. I don't even know what the hell that would be, Big Green. What? NJE says, what anime you know besides DBZ? Chrome counted them up at one time as best she could. And that was some time ago, and it was over 60. So I don't think I can run off the whole list for you right here, NJE. Oh, Doward, you're a couple hours north of Acville? Oh, so you are truly up into the northern California. Are you up? You got to be up in or maybe even beyond. I'm trying to remember how far it was. Redwoods territory, right? The Great Redwoods. I haven't seen ReZero yet. Total weirdness. No, it when we have the nominations and polls over at the GOOSH to decide what we're going to watch, it always gets nominated, and it makes the polls. It just hasn't won one yet. It will at some point, though. You can tell. I'm pretty sure reverse pile driver is what Lee hit Garo with. Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Brandon says, almost 1 inch of snow outside here in Utica, and it's only been snowing an hour. Wow. You got that inch in an hour. Yeah. Brandon's right up there where Spaz Kid is. And as I said, we get these days that are crappy and cool like that, and then you mix it in with those breeze, that wind off the Great Lakes, and they get more and more of that white shit. Moody says, double it now, Curtis. 90 plus anime sound around the park. I don't know if I got that many. Well, hold on a second. Let me look at something. I'll be away from the chat for just a second. Let me look at something. I don't keep my list updated as well as I should, because on the videos at the YouTube channel, I have a list in the description, and I don't do the job I should on trying to keep that list updated. But let me see how many are on the list. And then, boy, I'd have to try and figure out what ones I've seen that aren't on it. Okay, on the list we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 41, 42. Or 41 on the list. And see, that doesn't even really give us a good jumping off point because that list is so incomplete. It'd be so hard to go through. Well, just looking at it right now, of course, do I have Hajime on here? I don't think I do. So Hajime no Ippo's not on here. just the ones we're watching now. Clannad, which I just finished, is clearly not on here. So many. See, I put other GOOSH 100 videos on the list, and that doesn't break them down. There's so many great series I've seen in GOOSH 100s, and so many really good ones we got going right now too. Just tons of them. Dorohedoro was fantastic. Yeah, if I went through, you guys are right. It's going to be a pretty extensive list. The series after Clannad, Philip, I already got the first 3 episodes. Well, of course, I'm further ahead than usual. I'm getting ahead for when we go away in May. So I've got the first few episodes done. I can't remember. When you get to that the first episode of the new series we do, I meant to tell you guys, I have to remember if I remember to or not. When you start the next series, in the intro, I was going to tell you what the one following it was going to be too, so you'd know the next 2 series. Now I don't remember if I did. I'll have to go back and watch that. And if not, I'll write it in the comments for you guys. Critico says, Curtis, your video on losing loved ones was a real inspiration. Well, thanks, my friend. I appreciate it. Just something that came up because death is a part of life, and it just seemed like so many of you guys have been coming to me talking about having dealt with it recently. It was just something I wanted to share. A Silent Voice. Yeah, we were talking about that one earlier. That was great. Bronze Kneecap. It really was. B Green says, I'm going to have to think how many I watched to see if Curtis took over and all the anime he's watched. Well, let's see now. I probably should make a list at some point. I just never have enough time to put aside to do things like that. Oh, yeah, and now, too, we got the ones that we're in progress on. I got some of them right here. So we got Angel Beats in progress, Higurashi in progress, Kiznaiver, Bakemonogatari. That's good. Carolyn Tuesday, we're getting near the end of that. Wow. Card Captor Sakura, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I forgot about that one on there. Ace of the Diamond we're well into. Baka and Tess, Shield Hero. Jormungand is really good. Still early on in that, really like that. Ghost Stories, we're getting near the end of that. I'm Sakamoto. Just got started with that. That's funny as hell. Reincarnated as a Slime, we just started on. Barakamon. Really like Barakamon early on. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, we just started. Let's see. Ranma, Fruit of Grisayas, Kakaguri, Dragon Half has just started. And we're about to start Kenichi over at the GOOSH too. Yeah. So there's a shit ton more right there just in the ones that we're in progress on right now. Wow, that is quite a number we got. Well, thanks for being in, SD. Oh, Barakamon is good. Really good. I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, a lot of people like ReZero. I'll be interested to see how it does when we have the next poll. The next poll will be right as we finish Hajime no Ippo, and I'm almost done recording season 2. Andrew says, Volg leaving in Ippo gets me every time. That was rough, Andrew. You're right. That was sad. Good dude, Volg. And seemingly had so much promise, and that connection he made with Makunochi. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Barakamon sounds like Pokemon with Obama's the main character. No one says. Have you seen I Want to Eat Your Pancreas? No, I have not seen that, Bronze Kneecap. I have not. Critico says, hey, Curtis, your skits are hilarious, especially the anime protagonist travels. Well, thanks. I'm planning on, I'm going to be, once we get back from Disney and I'm not, doing as much every day, have as tight a schedule every day, I want to do more skits, but some of them will go up on the Curtis Candy channel because I'm going to devote that all to comedy. Oink says, You can probably trick one of us into making the list for you. Most of us are stupid and easily swayed by your superior sex appeal. Well, there. When you're sporting this face, I mean, who could blame you? Kenichi, well, it hasn't started yet. Timothy, it just got sponsored, and I haven't even posted it yet, but it's upcoming. Yeah, it should be up. Should be sometime. Yeah, even though it's already Wednesday, I think that'll be set for Friday or Saturday. I think. Yeah. Gimster says another sad ending can be said in one word. Bang. Yeah. And again, that wasn't for me, just for me personally, that wasn't even the hardest hitting part of that. It was Radical Ed leaving. Yeah, Full Metal was great, Oscar. Absolutely great. Nolan says, dad joke of the day. What's the difference between a well-dressed man and a unicycle? Yeah. If I could read Nolan, I would tell the dad joke for you. What's the difference between a well-dressed man on a unicycle and a poorly dressed man on a bicycle? Attire. God of Bodybuilding says, have you read Solo Leveling? No. Nope, not familiar with that. You're gonna carry that weight a long time. Oh, Big Green, now you're gonna have that going through my head. Downward says, fourth time's the charm. Oh, I'm just south of the Tahoe National Forest. It's really beautiful this time of year. Oh, very cool. Yeah, well, obviously you just said substantially further north than I was. That was beautiful up there. Really was beautiful country. Lick says, bang, sounds like it'd also be a hentai song. True. Empire Jeff says it was very emotional when Nappa came back to life in Dragon Ball GT. Yeah, because GT I only watched in clips. But I'll tell you, I get why people didn't like it. But I thought the ending, because we put all the clips together to watch the ending of GT. I thought the ending was really quite good. Oh, yeah. That's another song. Unfortunately, Big Green, I'm so goddamn old now, I can turn almost any phrase and relate it back to a song. But that's a Beatles song. Yeah. That's from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight a long time. I don't remember all the lyrics to it. But Dylan says snowfall in mid-April isn't even that much of a peculiarity in Canada. True. Yeah, I understand. Jack says, I'm still mad that Vegeta still hasn't wished the Saiyans back. Like, why? Van Riley says, you haven't seen it yet, but Parasite made me teary-eyed a few times. Oh, and Vinland Saga. Oh, Vinland Saga was good. Another title I don't have on the list that was great. Yeah. Oh, Vinland Saga. So, Torkel. Oh, man. What a great character. Yeah, Parasite is another one that Van Riley brought up here that does well in the polls and the nominations. And that's the thing. What we've, once One Piece is done, and now actually we're making progress towards the end. We're almost, we're in the 740s of episodes, so there is a catch up in sight for One Piece. But that, and once we finish, once we finish Hajime no Ippo, you guys will be placing one there, and the next two series I have lined up at the $1 level are both shorter. Substantially shorter. I think 24, 25 episodes is the one, and the others even less than that. Nolan says, did you know that surgery is just stabbing people back to life? Igor says, Curtis, I don't know how many times you've been asked this, but since Boruto is finally catching up with the manga, do you have any plans to start reacting to it anytime soon? A lot of times, and no, I don't. None at all. Downward says, I've been playing Cyberpunk lately on my 1X and enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would, considering the bashing it got. Yeah, I hit, with all the hype and fanfare when it came out, Downward. Yeah, it has. You're right. I've heard a lot of bashing on it as well. That's what got me to be honest with you, took any interest I had in it away because, as you said, everybody's just been going on about how terrible it is. Delaware says everything needs a little stabby now and then. Vinland Saga was, oh man, I that was really good, really gritty. But Thorkel, he's just a great character. He's one of my all-time favorites. Big crazy fucker that really just likes to fight. Kaiser says the saddest anime moment ever was when that old Nazi bastard died in Family Guy. Such a tragic death scene. Even Herb the Perv initially tried to save his sworn enemy. So tragic. That's the one we're talking about, Kaiser. You're talking about where he fell off the step, right? Him and Herb were battling it out, and he just falls back. And if I'm remembering right, and Herbert tries to reach out to him, and he just falls off like one step onto the sidewalk. Let's see. So when Cannibal Fetish anime licks? Holy shit. Alrighty then. I'm game. Big Green says, I'm sure they'll iron out all the glitches with Cyberpunk. If No Man's Sky can go from one of the worst games to a game that's actually good, then surely Cyberpunk can too. It's funny you say that. Because of that, because when No Man's Sky first came out, the hype was so real, I bought it for both me and Spaz Kid, so it cost me $120 freaking dollars, and it sucked, as you guys know. And now everybody's been saying it got so much better that I re-downloaded it one day while I was just doing some other stuff, so I let it download, and I started playing it. It's like, nah, I don't even have close to the time for this. I'm not even going to tempt myself. So I went through all that trouble to download it and just got rid of it. So it's like, no, I can't do it. Moody says, have you got around to Big O yet? No, I don't know what that is. Let's see. Dylan says the main reason Cyberpunk got such a bad rep was that it was expected to be some sort of gaming masterpiece, even though the creators repeatedly said, guys, we're not making the PS5 Magnus Opus here. You think the hype was just basically the hype was too large? Yeah, could be. I know, because again, I don't have time to game. If I did, I'd be playing a lot more Minecraft and stuff, and a lot more Red Dead 2. But so I probably wouldn't have gotten it anyway. But I had an interest in it until everybody went so nuts about it when it came out about it not being good. Poopa 1 licks? Uh-oh. that even sounds intimidating. Big O is Batman with giant robots, Sinister Charlie says. That seems legit. All right, guys. Well, I got to go. Hey, thanks for the stream. I knew this would be fun talking about this. Brought up a lot of cool moments that I hadn't thought about in some time. But yes, anime is, there's a reason that I become so addicted. I mean, the storytelling is just stupendous. It's just so good across the board. And when they want to punch you in the feels, they kick the shit right out of them for you. Hey, right as M came in. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for all the good chat, all the good chatter. Let's see. Not sure what's on the schedule for streaming tomorrow. I think I'll have time to stream tomorrow, and of course, then Free for All Friday. I don't know. We'll have to see if maybe how much time I have. If it's going to be another Red Dead episode, if I think I have enough time for that, or whatever the case may be. But regardless, today's Wednesday. I know it's Hump Day sticky stuff. It's not the greatest ever, and it's shitty out today, as we were just talking about earlier. It's gloomy. It's cold. Goosh, 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 indeed, Gimster. It's crappy. So, the sticky stuff is going to fly in the face. Get it? Fly in the face of reality, and it's going to be bright, sunny, warm, and comforting. That's how magical sticky stuff is, because it's a shit day out here. But when you get hit with this, you're going to think you're in an island paradise somewhere. Pumpu, pumpu, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you. It's so sunny, it's actually warm. And at my age, that's remarkable. And sticky stuff for you, because we'll bang, okay? Flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, and it's always like a good day at the beach. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.